Yo guys, Beast back with some more beastly content. Today we're going to be doing a base tour over my Way of Winter base here. So this is, in my opinion, one of the best bases in Way of Winter. So this is like the ultimate base tour here. So this thing has everything. I have turrets, I have all sorts of manufacturing facilities we're going to get into in a little bit. But I have turrets built on a wall all the way around this base, and this base is actually a multi-account base. So I have this base built with my main account and then also an alt account. So it's a 2-account base. So just keep that in mind when you see how many things there are here. There are 40 deviation securement silos, so don't be confused on that. That's because it's 2 accounts worth of a base. It's kind of like a shared account thing. But anyway, I've been leveling my entire tower up just off of my main account. The alt's only here to build on pretty much. I haven't even leveled it up for like anything else. But here's the farming area. So I just have like a really long farm area with a whole bunch of loamy soil and like the lighting and the irrigation all set up for it. I've just been growing mushrooms and scarlet calamus and the things that you need to get the towers leveled up, because I do actually plan on getting my tower to level 24 plus. I'm wondering if level 24 is the cap, and if so, then you need to choose wisely on the last few, or if level 24 is the minimum. Thinking it's the minimum, so we should be able to level past level 24. But we are definitely working really close to level 24 point now at level 19. So the latest thing I actually unlocked on my tower was the making the whole zone a polluted area, and I thought that that would like actually make the area like be polluted and stuff, but apparently it doesn't really seem to do that. But the deviation generators do work, and it is now pumping polluted water out of the ground. I'm not seeing any star trace or anything spawning in the nearby area or in my base area, so it doesn't seem like it's a full like conversion thing. It's just you're getting polluted water out of the ground now from it, so it does work. And all the perks of the research tests do seem to actually be working. So I heard that like they weren't working and there was only like one working, but the polluted one works and the other ones seem to be working, so we will see. So I actually was going to move my cooking setup, and for now we're just gonna go ahead and throw these stoves back in. But I'm really starting to get the feel of like, because this was my day 1 Way of Winter base. This was my first base on Way of Winter, so I'm really getting the vibes of build a new base instead of keep working on this one, because I've upgraded and upgraded and upgraded on this thing, and there is everything in this base. It has a lot going for it. The thing is, I want to build a new base. You know how it is, guys. Even though this base is great and I love it, I want to redo the base. I want to try again on like the growing facilities and things like that. I don't mind the current one. It works, but I want to try some other designs out. I also want you to like move around facilities on what base plot they're on, because I've kind of maxed out the alt's base plot facilities when it comes to function facilities, and then the other plot only has like 150 plots left to use. But as you can see here is my fetch a lot bunnies here. I have like 10 of these in the deviation display case just because why not. The reason why I was actually doing this is actually just to go ahead and get the seeds farmed up. That way I can just log in daily, recharge them on their energy and collect the seeds from them that I get, so that I can grow plants and things like that. Because there's all sorts of different foods that you want to be making that are going to be very, very helpful, including foods that can just be straight sold for 10,000 EL. No problem. Energy links, but as you can see here is the base, and I just keep it warm with the whole simple vintage stoves. I just have a whole ton of charcoal. As you can see, it only says 20 hours now, but that's just because I haven't filled the stove in weeks. So we do need to go through and refill our stoves. I'm thinking about building stoves in the newer area, which we will be getting a look at in a bit. But right here is just my deviation display cases, and I tried to make it where they're all maxed out, and I kind of just have all the items they need hidden away in the display case, so that it's not like in plain sight and taken up and making the thing look ugly. I really like my deviation display case setup overall. I think it's a very, very nice design. I think it's probably one of the nice deviation display case designs I've seen out there. So yeah, here is the one electric eel I've caught, guys. I'm telling you, it's just really rare. You need to use minced meat bait, 200 plus, and you're just gonna have to fish your butt off, and don't even go to the party event Surge of Fish. There's a certain area people claim that like has the highest yield of electric eels, but I don't buy it. I just think it's really rare, and I think no matter where you fish, you have a chance of getting it, so I might as well fish anywhere. This is my Digby securement unit set up here. I always harvest this daily just because there's a chance of getting silver and gold out of it, and you need that for the towers. Though I have found a couple new silver and gold farm locations recently. And then we have all of the paper dolls there. We're not even going to harvest them. And then 2 of the oil guys. Now, there was my brewing setup, and as you can see, it said no power because the switch is switched off on it. All of my setups in my base are toggled to a switch because there's just not enough power in game by default to power all of these facilities. So I turn off and turn on different facilities when I want to use different ones, because some facilities like your cook stoves, they don't need to be on all the time. Brewing barrels, unless you're brewing something, they don't need to be on all the time. The turrets, the only time I want those on is when I'm doing a purification of the tower, and I always fail them currently, and it's because I haven't upgraded anything on like the tower's defenses or anything, or I don't know, maybe the server doesn't help me, or it's the fact that there's like no other bases connected to my tower, and my 2 bases are the only bases connected to it, so there's nothing like in the way of the tower, so it's just right in the open. I don't know, maybe it's because it's a level 19 tower and we're only on phase 2. I'm not quite sure, but I never can win on the tower thing. It's always a defeat. I always end up having to repair the tower, but it doesn't hurt anything, and it does give you some rewards. But here's the top floor, and once again, like I said, I ran out of facilities on this side of the base, so I can't actually build anything back there. As you can see there was some destroyed floors up there from a previous purification before I had the turrets, where they were damaging this base quite a lot. So I built all the turrets up, and then I hate the turret design, and then it made me just want to change the entire base out. So this is actually the crafting wing of the base, so it has my disassembly bench, you know, the supplies bench, the weapon and armors bench, then my wish machine, and a fridge in the corner. And speaking of which, we need to go ahead and throw some mushrooms into this fridge here, guys. You want to be keeping a hold of these. I do actually believe we're going to be going upstairs and checking out the actually, I think we just collected some fertilizer. So we should actually be able to make most of these mushrooms into more fertilizers, which we're going to need to be leveling up the tower even further past level 19. So this is my actual like smelting area and storage area. So on the bottom there are all my chests, and that's all there is to it. All my stuff's stored down there. I'm going to go ahead and show you real quickly my organization system. A little bit of a glimpse on the water purification system. I just finished this setup, and I'm thinking the actual purification setup and everything is going to remain. Just the main portion of the base is going to be destroyed. We're probably going to be keeping this purification setup. And we're also going to go ahead and collect these because I want to throw them into the tower as quick as possible because we're trying to complete all of those as well. There's just a bunch of little like certain things you have to go do on the last few levels of the tower, and I think I want to cover a lot of the other research tasks on how to get all the materials and things like that very soon. I will say I'm honestly only limited on like Chaosium for most of the things. I have all the items gathered. I just need Chaosium now, and I should be able to get level 24 that end time, but as you can see here, the first 2 are just kind of dump chests where I just dump whatever. But this one here on the left side is all of my ores, mainly, you know, just the ingots. But ores like tin I have a ton of, so they're in there. All of here is the materials. So I place all materials in one chest, and I place all the ores and ingots and everything, and that includes logs in the other chest. It just allows me to like keep them organized, and I don't know, it's helped me with like managing my carry weight a whole lot more by doing this. And I like it better when I open it and I see nothing but materials, or I open it and I see nothing but ingots. It's way easier to find what you're looking for this way, in my own opinion, just because there's a lot less stuff to look through, unless you're looking for, you know, the other materials. But since you got stacks and stacks of the stuff, it's also easy to find, or it's not, or it's not a stack and it's like, oh, it sticks out, there's electronic parts. I don't know, it just works better for me. This is my storage system, organization system. I've seen other designs where people get like 8 chests on top of each other, but then like I've used a design like that and I don't like it at all, because when you do that it's just so hard to manage the chest. These little undershelf chests are just seem to be the easiest setup for me. Now I haven't actually like loaded out this place with chests here. All this is supposed to have a chest. I'm actually once again I'm probably going to be removing most of this base here except for the water purification area, and we're keeping all of our Stardust pumps. Actually, I think I still got the Pneumatic for them, so we might be able to delete them and rebuild them. I was thinking I'd change the Pneumatic, but I think I didn't have the specialization like cleansers. So as you can see though, we have a whole bunch of pumps connected to all of those water containers running all the way into osmosis purifiers running into those 2 water tanks there. Those 2 water tanks there have water pumps running to my storage containers up top for water. That both run to water irrigators in my farm area. So my farm's getting fully irrigated, and there shouldn't be a case of where all the impure acid that we're collecting up there actually fills the thing. And once again, I can shut the pumps down and have all the impure acid run down, or I can just take the storage containers from the top of where they are up there, open them, and pull out the impure acid. We will be using that as an impure acid farm soon. However, once again, this is kind of like an end of the base tour. I'm about to be rebuilding the base. The only thing I'm probably going to keep is this little platform here with my generators and my water purification setup, because the rest of it, I'm just getting kind of tired of it, and it was kind of built like when I didn't have as many materials. And also I want to make it out of stone because a lot of it's wood, which is not very good for when you're doing the purifications on the tower. Like I said, I built that stone defense around just to like protect the base so it didn't get absolutely annihilated, because in the starting position of this base it was all made out of wood, which is not a very good material for defense. But overall, I really like this base. I think it provides literally everything I need. I've had an absolute blast in Way of Winter building this base and using this base. And with these two new facilities, I should be able to have some fun with them, but I'm thinking it's just going to require a different base design entirely in order to fully utilize it. But let's go ahead and talk about my tower a little bit. Like I said earlier, we were using deviation generators, and we're in a non-normally deviated area or a polluted area, and it's for that little one we got on top on the reactor there that's green. That's actually the one that made it a polluted area. Now there's a couple other like things on here that I noticed that you actually really want to get first, and that's like increasing the durability of the tower. That's a really important one, and it's one of the 12-hour ones. It's actually on the very top one there, the radiator, but it's like very end of it there. But that one is very important because you're going to want to increase the durability of your tower. And I'm not sure if we're capping at level 25 or if it's minimum 24, or I mean level 24, minimum 24. So I'm going to try and get every single bit of research done. But we will see, and we will see what the max level for the tower is once we reach 24, if it's going to let us level up past level 24. It'd be more interesting if it didn't let us go past 24, so it's like choose wisely or you might have a terrible time purifying every single time. But I'm thinking we're going to be able to level past 24. I think I heard we're able to actually level past 24. So the one last thing I want to do here is just kind of get like a full overhead shot of this base, just showing you how big and ridiculous it is. And once again, the next base we do in Way of Winter, the one we're going to build after this, when we tear this down and have all those materials again. And we do need to go do some gravel and sinister brick farming. We need to get a whole bunch of sinister brick gathered up before we even start the next time. And I also want a bunch of steel plates and some other materials. We are going to be building a really nice base next time. But as you can see, this thing is absolutely massive. We could have made it a lot bigger. I'm wanting to move my base on like the other side of the thermal tower and see if maybe other bases can actually fit in this area now, because being built right by this road and this little event area, I'm not actually sure how many players could actually connect to this tower even if they wanted to. But I am going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it, and keep it beast mode.